What's happening, guys? It's Bharat Nagpal for iGyaan, and today we're checking out the new Huawei Ascend P6. Now this is an exceptionally slim device from Huawei. It comes with their own chipset, but let's not waste any time and let's get into the unboxing. The device is priced for a price of 26,950 rupees in the market in India, and you can get it for somewhere in the price range of about 26,000 rupees if you do a little bit of searching. So let's go ahead and quickly unbox it. Now this is a pre-opened box, so I won't be requiring my knife. The first thing inside the box is the P6. I'm going to try and get that out of here. And that's the P6. You can see how slim it is. Nice looking and slim looking device. I'm going to put that aside for the time being. I'm going to go further in. And you can see this new style packaging. So we have the headphones in here. They're not in-ear style headphones. They're standard earphones. And you do have an inline microphone, as well as a push button to send and end calls, and you have an angled 3.5mm headphone jack, which is not gold plated. If you go further in, you get the wall charger, which has a USB port on one side and a flat pin on the other side for the wall area or for the wall socket, and then you have a standard USB to micro USB cable, which will help you charge and sync the device. You also have this documentation box that has a bunch of documentation in there, along with a silicone sort of cover for the back of the device. So I'm going to put this on and show you what it looks like with the cover. So that's everything from the box. Let's take a look at the device itself. Now if you look at the device from the front over here, you have a front facing 5-megapixel camera that does do 720p video. You have the earpiece, and you have a 4.7-inch 1280 by 720p display that looks exceptionally sharp and vivid. You have great viewing angles on this. And it looks like it's an OGS display because it feels like the display is right on top, right next to the glass. So that's nice. You also have this new style lock screen I'm going to show you in just a second. You have the Huawei logo at the bottom over here. If I turn over to the right side, you can see the dual SIM card slots. So this does take in 2 SIM cards. You have the volume rocker, the power lock and unlock button, and a very iPhone style bezel over here. So steel bezel on the side. You have a micro USB charging and data syncing port on the top, along with a secondary noise cancellation microphone. Nothing over at the left. You have this small plug that opens out to reveal a SIM removal tool, along with a cover for the 3.5mm headphone jack. So you can use this to remove the SIM card tray, as well as it comes in as a cover of the 3.5mm headphone jack. You also have blanks in the SIM card tray. So that's nice. The only thing I'm worried about is that you might end up losing this small little piece. Once you have your headphones in there, there's no place to keep this. So that is something that the company did not think of, I think. Over at the bottom, you have the main microphone. The bottom edge is also rounded off. It's not a flat edge. So you have the main microphone pinhole over there. Over at the back, you have a brushed aluminum style back panel. You have an 8-megapixel camera, which does do full HD video, and you have a LED flash. You have the Huawei logo over here, some documentation, some certification at the bottom, and you have the main speakerphone over here. So this is the main lock screen. You can slide to the left to directly jump into the camera, or you can slide right to unlock. You have this new style Huawei user interface that has been laid on top of Android 4.2.2. Essentially, you don't have a application drawer. So this is something like an iPhone sort of user interface. So everything's on the home screen. If I jump into settings over here, go into about device, you'll see that we are running Android 4.2.2, which is Jelly Bean. So you have that information over here. The one nice thing is that you can get rid of the bottom bar. So despite the fact that the display is 1280 by 720, and you have the on-screen buttons, you can get rid of them easily simply by tapping on this button over here, and you can get rid of the on-screen buttons. So you do have a bunch of applications that are pre-installed over here. You also have something called an app center. You have themes, music, gallery. You have a voice assistant application that has been pre-installed. You have Hi Care. If I jump into messaging over here real quick, I'm going to show you what the keyboard looks like. And you also have a voice mode, so you can hold to talk or you can text. So they've sort of built in the features from WhatsApp, where you can simply just press this button, hold to talk, and it use voice recognition to sort of send it as a MMS instead of a text. So you get the voice note sent to your recipient. So the keyboard's fairly nice. You also have drag to type options on here, which you can set by jumping into the settings of the keyboard. But you have basic features over here. You can also jump to the old style numpad style keyboard if you like using that. You can also look at the landscape keyboard. It's fairly nice and large and simply easy to type on. Not a lot of issues over there. I'm going to jump into the dialer, show you what the dialer looks like. This is what the dialer looks like. A little bit of customizations done by Huawei. And you can also see that it gives you where you've dialed the number. So it shows you that it's a mobile phone in India, and it shows you those details over here. You can also jump into your contacts from here. And you can also go into settings. So you can just see missed calls or clear call logs, or go into call settings from here. Now you can customize the home screen as per your requirements. You can also create folders, so you can rename these folders as per your requirement as well. So in case you want to do that, you can. So they have a folder which is called management, and you have some apps that are preloaded onto it. So power manager, security manager, backup manager, sync manager, downloads manager, an app installer, and a system update, which does have a new system for the Emotion UI, which is what the device is, the UI from Huawei is called. It's called the Emotion UI. If we talk about the hardware on the inside, we have a quad-core 1.5 GHz CPU, which is a Huawei CPU. It is a Huawei chipset, and they claim to have a multi-core GPU on there. So it's got more than 8 cores on the GPU, which means that this device should be really good at gaming. You also have 2 GB of RAM, and you have 16 as well as 8 GB of internal storage capacities, but you don't have expandability, which seems to be a downside for this device. What I thought earlier was 2 SIM card slots is actually one is a micro SD card slot, so you do get expandability. It's a single SIM device, not a dual SIM, although a dual SIM version is available for this. I don't think that's come to India. So you have a SIM card slot which is on the right over here or on the bottom, and then you have a micro SD card slot which is over here. So let's quickly open up the browser and see what the website looks like on this. And it's fairly fast and responsive, as you can see over here. So you can see it loads up the website fairly nicely, and scrolling is also fairly fast. You can pinch in and pinch out as well, which is nice. Seems to be really smooth, not an issue over there. Now it stopped responding. Okay, maybe there is an issue over there. I can't pinch in anymore. Anyway, let's switch to landscape and see if it starts to work again. It does continue to. Okay, now it's pinching again. It seems to be a little glitchy. It's not working really well. So I don't know if it's an issue with the device or what, or this particular browser that they've preloaded, but it's not working really well. It is glitchy, but it's smooth in terms of scrolling, and when it was working really nice. I can't customize a lot on the home screen. I can add widgets and wallpapers, the standard usual stuff from Android. So I can drop in a widget over here if I want to. So this widget already exists on my home screen over here, but I can add multiple widgets if I want to. I can also add thumbnails for images. I can also choose transitions, which can be as per my requirements. So it'll rotate instead of flipping over. I can also change it to something else, maybe a cylinder, so it'll flip like this. So you can customize the UI as per your requirement, which is fairly nice. Let me quickly show you the camera as well, guys. So you have a more or less generic camera UI, and you have a couple of options over here. You have smart shooting, single shooting, beauty shot, HDR panorama, and some effects. You can also jump into the full settings. You have object tracking, capture smiles, touch to capture, geotagging. You can set the resolution, the timer, etc. And then you can go into video mode and get some options for that as well. So you can get a stabilizer on or off, HDR video, object tracking, geotagging, etc. So that's nice. The camera is fairly nice. I've been playing around with it a little bit, and it seems to be a good camera. The overall device is fast and responsive, and it seems like a great sort of device for the price that it comes at. It has its own custom things, so there's no real comparison in terms of hardware. It has its own CPU and its own GPU. So you can't really compare it with, say, a MediaTek or a Snapdragon, but we'll run benchmarks and full gaming, etc. to give you a better result of that. Clear, so no issues with that as well. So we'll be back with gaming benchmarks and the full review of the Huawei Ascend P6. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, queries, or want us to cover something specific for this device, do drop that in the comment section below. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and check out the detailed unboxing as well as best prices for this product on iGyaan.in. Follow the link in the description or on the video right now. For iGyaan.in, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.